Lewis Hart for the Ring magazine. Delighted today to join with the beast from the East, on the East Coast, in New York, here ahead of your fight with David Benavidez. Anthony Yarde. First things first, how's things, mate? How are you?
Things are fantastic, sensational, fabulous. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I'm all the better for speaking to yourself.
Come on.
All the better to see that you are in a massive fight against David Benavidez. Yeah, looks like, I mean, obviously announced last week, a pretty quick turnaround. There's sort of some discussions of what was going on, then it seemed like straight away, look, we're fighting Benavidez in Saudi. Yeah, I guess you must be buzzing to get this fight over the line.
Yeah, it was one of them fights where I think it just showed my character. I got the call and it was, do you want this fight? I was like, yeah, why not? We didn't have no fight planned. Yeah. You know, we had there was speculation. You know, it could be Callum Smith, could be this person, could be that person, but there was nothing like bulletproof. There was nothing solidified. So I've shown my character, man. I even put on my Instagram post, I said, don't question my character. I said, anytime it's been offered to me, I'm taking it. It's not nothing where I'm umming and ahhing. I don't care about the stakes. You know, I don't care about how high the stakes are, whatever. For me, it's like, it's opportunity. So why not?
I did want to ask you about how, the fight come around, because there was a lot of talk of who would be the Benavidez opponent. There's a lot of talk on who would you would fight. As you said, there was a lot of talk of Callum Smith. I know Eddie Hearn come out and said about yourself getting the fight because Callum, I think that, not to misquote him, but he was basically saying that the money that Callum wanted, that couldn't get offered for Benavidez.
Did he say what the money was?
He didn't reveal what the money was, obviously. But yeah, there was a lot, and I think it was a case of yourself being happy with what the offer was. Yeah, I guess how did the fight come around for yourself, and obviously with the options of Callum Smith as well?
Literally, I got a phone call. I was in the middle of a massage, and I got a phone call, and I was like, this is a weird number. I think this is like a Saudi number. So even in my massage, I answered the phone. And then I won't say the names, but then someone come on the phone, introduced himself. I was like, hello. Told me who he represents. Again, he told me he represents Turkey Al Sheikh. And I said to him, I'm in the middle of a massage. Can you call me back in like half an hour? And he was like, I understand you're in the massage, but this is an important call. I would suggest you take it. I was like, alright, cool. I said, yeah, go on, just carry on. You might hear some charming music in the background, but it's fine. And then Turkey Al Sheikh came on the phone. We spoke. He offered me the fight. It was very, very quick and simple. I said, can you speak to my team? We need to go through management, everything. And then once we all have spoken, why not? And then he said it again, do you want the fight? Like, he just wanted the answer. I was like, I'll fight anybody. Yes, I want this fight. It's for a world title. But again, we need to go through the particulars with the team. Yeah. Within that little period, I spoke to my team. Couple calls back and forth. And then I got a final call saying, we've spoken, everyone's spoken, is this okay? I said, absolutely. He goes, okay, cool. We're going to announce it tomorrow. I said, bet.
So, from your point of view, is there ever any discussion and an offer on the table for Callum Smith then?
There was just talk. It was just talk. Potential. I've had all these potential talks before. And then, just like Callum Smith and another person, we was in the same potential talk with both of them at the same time. They ended up fighting each other. So, again, I'm not doing this thing where I'm waiting around and all these kind of things. And depending on your beliefs, why would I not take this fight? I don't understand what's wrong with these boxers. If you're a boxer, be a boxer. Like, fight. Or, I think people try to do everything at once. But when you're at a certain level in boxing, I feel like you just need to just fight.
When you do get that call from Turkey and the representatives, like in the massage parlour or whatever, sorry, I made that sound a bit, wherever it was, do you feel like you have that mode, like world title, like it's ready to go. Like you get that switch almost in a sense, saying this is serious. Like we're going to Saudi. Do you know what I mean? Like you have that mode that switches in a sense.
No, I was quite relaxed. If I'm honest, I'm still relaxed now. I don't know. Some people might look at me and be like, "Is this guy all there?" You know, is that? Trust me, because sometimes people are like, "Wait, do you know what's going on? Like, do you know that everyone's talking about this? Do you know how big it is? Like, do you know it's your third world title like, attempt? This don't happen." And it's a fight people are excited for. Underdog or not, like people think like it's a good fight. I'm like, oh, is it? Alright, cool. When am I going gym? It's just the same thing.
You said no one can question your character.
Nobody.
And with Benavidez, he obviously comes with that aura, you know, the Mexican monster in a sense, and you know, you face Kovalev, you face Beterbiev. These are both guys with aura as well. So that's never something that phases you, you know, when you've got fans hyping up guys and they have this sort of, that's a guy right now.
And this is what I'm saying. Don't ever question my character. Don't question my character. I just feel like I only know what someone's really about once I fought them. I don't care about how they fight other people. We saw it with Beterbiev. I gave him one of his hardest fights before the Bivol fight, should I say. Damaged him, cut him. No one was expecting that. And I saw what people was writing. They expected me to get cleaned out like everyone else. But again, I was ahead on the scorecards. I learned a lot from the fight, could take something from the fight. And again, it just shows my character. I will fight anybody.
With him being a puncher as well, and yourself being a puncher, like that, the idea, I guess, of trading and going sort of the pound for pound punch in a sense, and is that something that excites you?
Of course. I think Beterbiev was known as more of a destructive puncher. I think with Benavidez, he's known as more of a volume, pressure kind of boxer. But I don't care. I don't care if they're master boxers, if they're hard punchers, I don't care. And if you look at the people I fought, you know, I fought them. Where I'm premature in the sport, I don't care. I do not care. People are just always going to have an opinion. So for me, let's fight, and then we'll see.
This is your third world title shot.
Yes.
Do you ever have any fears of that having that connotation as being a nearly man? You know, the guy
No.
who, because you know you got fighters like George Groves who took him 4 times to win a title. Like, is there ever that fear that perception around yourself?
Absolutely not. I think that what you just said can only come when you give a shit what other people think, or you care about the opinion of others. I only care about the opinion of myself, what I really think about myself. That's a conversation a lot of people can't have in this world. Like what they really think of themselves. Are they proud of themselves? Did they go after things? Did they put it all on the line? You know, did they challenge their fears? Did they do this? Did they do that? And then again, maybe like some of my family, not all of my family, some of them are not give a shit. Some of my friends, you know, but really and truly, to be honest, it's really just me. Like, what do I really think about myself? When I look in the mirror, what do I really think about myself? Like, is that a coward just chatting shit? Or is that a real one? Is that someone that actually does what they say? Is that someone that's honest? Is that someone that's like shouting lines in the camp because he feels it and he means it, or he's just chatting shit, trying to get people to say it? No. I can look in the mirror, look at my own eyeballs, and I say, yeah. You know, he's challenged every fear in his bone, in his body.
How much confidence does that give you when you look in the mirror and you know that there's no stone unturned?
I don't know. You know, it's hard. It's hard for me to explain my mindset to people. It's just hard because a lot of people ain't like that, and a lot of people just don't understand. They always have this other route. Or why don't you do this? Or maybe, you know, like you should have went that way. Or like, are you scared? Or, you know, is there not a bit of nerves there? Or whatever. And when I look at them, and I'm just like, no. Like, are you not scared to cross the road? Or you're not scared when you're in your car, like going against oncoming traffic? Again, everyone's just different, man. Everyone's got their thing. One thing I'm not scared of is to fight another man. I don't care who's watching. One thing I'm not scared of is to fight somebody.
What do you make of the public perception for yourself when they say Anthony Yarde, he's either fought elite level competition at the top of the game, or he's fought people that aren't on his level. What do you make of people that make them claims about yourself?
Again, on this person to some degree, you know, they have a point. When I was coming up in the game, obviously there's that period, you know, you have to build and, you know, get the wins under your belt and have learning fights. But what happened with me in my career, this is me just being honest, there come a period where, again, I was a highly ranked, exciting prospect. You know, only had 12 amateur fights, basically no boxing experience. Made a name. I think I was 18-0, 18 fights undefeated. Got into a high position with the WBO. And then again, bit of my character, I got offered a fight with Kovalev. And I was like, yeah, Kovalev, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I said yes straight away. Then they said, oh, it's in Russia. Then I was like, ooh. Spoke to Tunde, spoke to the team, and I was like, hey, whereabouts in Russia? They said, Chernigov. I said, where's that? I said, I don't know what that place. Then I was like, again, had that conversation with myself. Like, why don't you want to go Russia and fight? I was like, you know what, forget. Come, let's go. It's opportunity. If I go out there and I knock this brother out, my life changes. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? That's just how I see it. Yes, there's other routes, but it's not my route. It's not a route that's gonna call it satisfy my ego, satisfy my inner self. And then again, had that fight, you need to rebuild. You know, the fight didn't go my way. I almost done what I said I was gonna do though. Almost knocked him out. I had to rebuild. You know, I had to rebuild. I also had to rebuild mentally because, again, the news that come out about Kovalev after that fight, about, you know, he got banned for taking PEDs and things like that. All them kind of things, they can mess with your psyche, you know, mess with your mental. And then the same thing almost happened with Benavidez, you know. But again, that one wasn't a ban, that one was just, they call it adverse finding. But these things can, you know, you say to yourself, my life could have been different, you know, with someone like Kovalev. It could have been different, you know.
So there's nothing you regret, would you say?
Zero. Zero regrets. And this is what I'm trying to say. A fear of mine is regret. How would I feel in 10 years? I've retired, you know, I've had my career, etc. Regardless of how good it's gone or whatever, and I look back and I say, imagine I took that fight against this person at that time. Let's say I didn't take a fight, and I look back at, I would never be able to feel that void. I would never get over it. Yeah. It's like, you know, when you got a girlfriend, she's boom, and then you might do something wrong, you do her, and then she's gone forever, and you're like, oh, that girl, man, she got away. Yeah. There's a feeling you can't. It ain't happened to me, by the way. I'm just talking about some of my friends, some of my friends' storylines. No, it's something you can't feel. You can't feel that void.
When you look in the mirror, and you know you have that conversation with yourself, do you have that conversation thinking you can knock out David Benavidez?
100%. I feel like, how do I put this? I feel like the reason it's an exciting fight is because people know that, you know, I'm going to be the underdog, you know. You got to give him his credits. You got to give him his dues, what he's done in the sport, and what he's done at super middleweight, what he's come up to light heavyweight to do. You got to give him his credit, but they know that I'm one of them people where it's not even a banana. It's a different kind of, whatever slippery fruit you can think of, it's okra. They're saying that, yeah, this guy, he's going to give it. He's going to give it. So I think it's one of the things everyone's going to be excited to see what happens.
Before we do sign off, Anthony, very recently we lost a man that was very close to yourself,
yes.
James Cook. A man that done so much for the community, so much in London, and so much, I'm sure, for yourself as well. It was a very, very sad loss. I think the outpouring of tributes that were given to him on the day he passed just shows volumes of the character that he was. Just asking yourself, how special of a man was James?
James, you know what? I knew he was a special man, but it was proven to me just how much of a special man he was going to his funeral. The amount of people that was there, you know, in ultimate support, all different colours, shapes, sizes, all honouring James Cook. And I've never seen so much people in the church in my life, even on a Sunday service. So everybody, like, and then even afterwards, you know, when everyone goes to eat and, you know, good vibes, and, you know, we've done the burial and everyone's just trying to perk each other up and, you know, give a good send off. Some of the speeches that were done, amazing. Like, he was genuinely a man who a lot of people needed. He changed a lot of people's lives. Like the Pedro Boxing Club that he ran, again, it was in where I grew up, is where I was born, you know, Hackney, and Hackney's known. It's got a bit better now. It's a bit, you know, but it's known for the badness. And he's in the pits of an estate, and he's changed a lot of people's lives. Boys that come up to me and, you know, want to take a picture and say that I respect what you've done, etc. They all have amazing things to say about James Cook. So yeah, man, he's a person that's, you know, gone but never forgotten.
Yeah, well, I definitely echo the words that you said, Anthony, and it's a beautiful tribute to him. But look, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Really appreciate catching up. Always good to see you, especially even in New York. And all the best in November if you fight against David Benavidez. Lions in the camp.
Lions in the camp.